Good morning, staff. I wanted to do a how-to video on Zoom. I know a lot of you have used it, but just some things to look at or if you're having trouble finding some privacy settings and so forth. Your building principal probably has told you or will be telling you um, that we will be able to use Zoom. The one thing we want you to always keep in mind that any video recordings or streams are or can be considered education records under FERPA. So just be very conscientious about the settings when you enter into a meeting with students. And the principals will be or have sent you an email with some suggestions for some settings that you may want to look at. But let's say that you're going to schedule a meeting for you and your colleagues or you and your classroom students. You do have to use an educator account or use an account to schedule a meeting, and we're asking that you use a district account to do that. If you have not contacted me, just send me an email and I will get one set up for you. You will receive an invitation from Zoom, and once you accept that invitation, you can sign in with your Google account. Please remember, students do not need a Zoom account, nor do they need to log in. You will give them a link, and they will use that link to join your online meeting or session. Now, if you're on a computer or Chromebook, two ways that you can use Zoom is either through your web browser, or you can actually download an app for Zoom. You also can download a Zoom app for an iPhone or an iPad. Right now, I'm already signed in and I am on a web browser. So I'm in Chrome, I went to Zoom and I signed in with my school account. And this is the look if I'm in a browser. I also went to Zoom and I downloaded the Chrome app. And when I launch it, it has this look. So I kind of wanted to show you both. So let's say you're going to schedule a meeting with your colleagues. Okay. In the app, obviously, here's your schedule, and you can do that right there. Or if you are on a web browser, it is right up here to the right. So when I go to schedule a meeting from Zoom, first of all, obviously, you're going to name it right here. You can put a description. You're going to set your date, time, possible duration of your meeting. And if it's a recurring meeting, excuse me, like a principal's going to meet with their staff every Monday at 1:30, they could actually set this up and it would do that for you. On meeting ID, you can actually have Zoom generate one, or you can always have a personal meeting room ID. Um, I usually just say generate automatically. If you want users to have a password, and you're probably not going to do this with staff, but you can require a meeting password. It would just mean that if somebody got the link to your meeting, they couldn't join without that password. And then if it has a password, that information is going to be sent to your users. You get to choose if you want the video and audio on for both. You're the host and your participants. And with audio, I usually choose both. So if a user is having trouble on audio on their computer, they actually have a telephone number they can call in. The other thing from this screen that you can do are meeting options. Um, this enable your users to join before the host. If you're working with your colleagues, that's fine. But if you are working with kids and you don't want them to be in the meeting 15 minutes early before you without you in there, you would want to say to enable a waiting room and not let them join before the host. You may even choose to mute them when they first enter. Um, the waiting room is just like, think about it as if you had an empty classroom and you weren't in there. The kids are unsupervised, the waiting room would keep them from going into that room before you. Also, you can record it automatically when you set up your meeting, but please tell your users that you are recording that. Okay, so for mine, I'm going to do it with colleagues, and I'm just going to say they can join before me. I was thinking I missed something here. Sorry, I was coming back. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. Now, when I save it, I have a choice here to add. You don't have to add this to your Google Calendar, but I'm going to tell you why I like to. You will notice down here, this is the address that you could send the invitation to your participants, and you can copy it right here and then you can send it to them. But what I like to do is I like to add it to my Google Calendar. Okay, and when I add it to my Google Calendar, I have all of the information about the Zoom meeting right here. Now, when I come over, and I'm gonna get rid of my participants, I can add guest. And so let's say I'm gonna add Christy to this. I can do so. Maybe I'm going to add all 11th graders. I can do so. Okay, anybody in our domain, you should be able to add, it should pull them up. Now, the reason I like to do that is add them here is because when I hit save, it's going to say, would you like Google to email these invites? And they're going to get an invite in their email. And when they say yes or accept it, it will automatically put it on their Google Calendar. Then the day of the meeting, all the information is in their Google Calendar. Okay, you do not have to do that. Again, you can just give them this information about the meeting and just send it to them. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. Okay, now when you're here, right now, I am on the web browser. Okay, and this is your meeting that you already have set up. But look at your settings. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to look at your settings, at the very beginning. But these are the settings that you may have received some information on from your principal. And when you change a setting here, then it should stay for each meeting you schedule from this point on. But I would always check it. So there's your password, okay, that you can require. You can embed the password in the meeting link. Okay, those are just some different settings there. Now, here is some meeting basics. You can, like right now, my users can chat. Maybe you don't want your users to be able to chat. So you're going to shut that off. Okay, probably with students, you're going to shut off private chats. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but when you're in a Zoom meeting, you get a sound when somebody comes in, after you've started the meeting or leaves, and you can turn that off and on, or you could just make it so you, the host, are seeing. So if you have a student leave, you'll be notified and you can look and see who that is. And you should just spend some time and go through some of these settings and see if this, things that you want turned on or not. Breakout rooms. You might want to shut that off for students. Breakout rooms allow the host to split the meeting into smaller rooms. So take some time and look through those. Some of the things we suggested is, maybe locking the meeting so that no new participants can join. That depends. They may come in late. You may not want to do that. You actually have a setting where you can expel a participant if they are just kind of like in class. If they're not behaving, you can remove them. Excuse me. Now, this is, like I said, this is the settings on the web browser. I'm going to go back to the app for a minute. And please note the gear. And you have settings in the app. These are your general settings, okay? Like, for example, virtual background. Your students can choose a background. So let's say I want a beach scene. They can download and do that. You may choose to have a background or not. Okay. Here and um, here are some for you on video. So just take some time and look these over. This is in the app. There also are some advanced in each area. Share screen. You may need to share your screen, but you don't want your students sharing a screen. Now, sometimes it's good to have them share a screen. They're having trouble, and so you need to see their screen. So those are just some things, please, to look over. It's very easy to have a Zoom conference call. Again, you may use the browser, you may use the app. If you need help with this, please let me know. And again, if you need a Zoom account, please let me know. I'm here to help you. I will try to get back to you as soon as I can with any questions. Have a great day.